SR Performance, up garage, 86, and no sight lap.
Going straight in. They already had a couple laps, plus a sight lap earlier.
Correct.
So they're pretty familiar with the, they are familiar with the
lay of the land,
conditions.
the feel, yeah,
the
just
feel.
Touch the feel of Formula Drift. Here we go, Kazuya Taguchi. Taguchi, you can see those yellow headlights of Novak shining on the yellow rear end of the 86. And Taguchi, it seems that, again, he is not leaving the judge's hands. He was high on the bank. Novak, like I said, who'd have thunk? Novak is no slack right now. Kazuya. Looks like he drops in the crease. He felt the car kind of rise up a little bit. Got quite a few fans here for these drivers. Taguchi and Novak getting cheered on.
You can see Novak there at initiation dropping down low angle as he's following Taguchi going high and high angle. So definitely a deficit there for Novak on outside zone 1. That is going to be something for Taguchi to better when he gets into his chase run. Oh, look at the drone, everyone. I'm very happy to see that up in the sky.
Yep.
So as we see them come around outside zone 2, like you said, Taguchi did put a tire up in the bank slightly. Novak is on a slightly tighter line early on, and it looks like still on a tighter line as he comes through the finish line. So Taguchi does have some opportunities here. He can match what Novak's doing in the lead better if he, gets himself into the pocket, gets up on the wall in outside zone 1, matches the angle and liner on outside zone 2. He can put himself in an advantageous position chase-to-chase comparison-wise.
That would be awesome. That'd be great. Here we go, Nick Novak, Kazuya Taguchi. You just want to see a fair, straight-up competition. And remember, this is one more time. They both definitely have the talent, have the skill. Who's going to put it together? Novak tapping the wall, but stays in it. Nick Novak, Nick, no bumper. Into that inside clip 1. Novak a bit off of it. And now into that second inside clip. You're talking about advantageous. Novak really goes up, but now comes down. So, and Kazuya right there.
Kazuya Taguchi just looked hungry on that battle. He was, he just he looked like he was placing his car better. He was more focused on putting the car in the right position. So look at where he is in outside zone 1, matching the angle in the line much better than Novak did. Now Novak is doing a good job up in the lead there, getting up high on outside zone 1, but Taguchi is matching him better. Novak misses inside clip 1, but Taguchi's right there taking advantage of Novak's poor line by getting on the inside. And right here, Novak does go 2, well, not quite 2, 1 tire off on the bank, and you can see Taguchi right there with him all the way through that zone. So great job by Taguchi for placing his car so precisely.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Nick Novak, he is out, but Kazuya Taguchi gets the win after a one more time. He will be going against Michael Essa, the former champ and pilot of the FCP Euro BMW. Kazuya Taguchi moves on as we get our next pair. And we are seeing our next pair. That is Rad Dan. Here we go. Love to not have to do the sight laps. Just turn and burn, baby. Masuyama, by now Japan. In the front, Dan Burkett sticks the nose, that Mark IV Supra to the side of Masuyama. You can see them both just kind of click, 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 torquing it up. Now in that first inside clip, Dan a little bit off further than Masuyama. Now in the second inside clip, Dan making a quick little adjustment there. Still does hit that second clip. Not a lot of angle here from Masuyama. And now, look at that, allowing Dan Burkett. Oh, look at that, smooching tire treads. Snooch to nooch. Snoochy poochie.
Nice flick from Masuyama in the lead. Dan Burkett takes a straighter initiation, but is right there with Masuyama. He's doing a fairly good job of matching the line around outside zone number 1. Some little bobbles from both of them as they come down off the bank. Masuyama's off of inside clip 1 slightly. Dan's following him where he's going and looking good for doing it. Dan taps inside clip 2. Masuyama nice and wide on outside zone 2. Dan is inside, unfortunately not filling that zone until the very end there where you can see him getting slightly closer to what we would consider the pocket.
Put it in your pocket. Pop, lock, and pocket. Pop, lock, and pocket. Here we go, Rad Industries Mark IV. Rad Industries, come on, baby. Rad Dan Burkett, Wataru Masayama, see what you got. Let's see your chase run here. Who's gonna come out on top? Who's going against Christopher Forsberg in the 16? We are in the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. Rad Dan initiates, look at that.
Smoke.
Oh, I'm seeing some smoke, seeing some steam. Oh, look at that, backs it in. And Masayama, now he's playing catch up. Big angle there from Burkett. And we talked about how he's gotten his car down. Look at that massive angle from Dan Burkett. A little bit off of that outside line. I'd like to see him out there, but I think he was a little nervous. He didn't want to go too far out. But obviously he backed it into the wall. I don't know exactly what happened there, but look at Masayama, that back bumper going in.
Another S15 taillight bites it.
Yep.
All right, so let's look at the initiation here. Burkett gets the angle. Masayama, poor angle behind him. Burkett comes up, little top of the wall. Looking good though. Masayama straightens up a little bit in the chase position. Dan Burkett misses inside clip one, just like Masayama did. Masayama drops a couple of tires on the inside, trying to make those compromises to gain proximity. And you can see here that he's doing a good job on line, but angle was a little bit less there in the beginning. So he's made up some proximity, but made some compromises to do that.
All right, waiting for the results here. And our judges entering the verdict. Looks like our official Formula Drift Toyota truck. Make sure there's no debris on the bank. In that Pedal Commander burnout box, we are seeing Ken Gushi and Daniel Stuckey.
Look at all that smoke over there, Jared.
And here is our BC Racing side-by-side.
As we look at the side-by-side, you can see the proximity from Masayama compared to the proximity from Dan Burkett. Both of them are high on the wall in the lead position, but definitely a big difference in the chase there from looking at Burkett versus Masayama. Burkett is doing a better job, I think, of mimicking the line, the angle, the transition point, everything of Masayama while he's in the chase. But unfortunately for Masayama, while he's chasing, he's had to make some considerable sacrifices to get close to Dan Burkett.
All right, see if we got a verdict here between Burkett and Stuckey and Gushi are on the track. But here's the result: Masayama or Dan Burkett. 1 says Dan Burkett. 2 says Dan Burkett. Dan Burkett gets the win over Masayama. As Odi Bakshis leaves the start line, he will lead that Falcon Tires. Field suspension as the team. Eve Meyer.
Whoa!
Oh, and Odi Bakshis, very uncharacteristic.
We saw that last night, Jared,
Yeah.
on a bye run, and we just saw it from Odi Bakshis.
Oh, man, look at that back left of Eve Meyer. Oh, man, and that will be, I mean, there's no reason it's not Odie's fault, right?
Absolutely, Jared.
That was independent.
Yeah, he went to do the old Scandi flick
Roll it back.
and forgot to do the counter flick after the first flick. So as you watch him come down here, it just looks like the car grips up and ends up into the wall slightly.
Oh.
But the bigger issue is Eve Meyer coming in hot right behind him. So let's watch it here as Odie does the 1, the 2, and the car just snaps back. Little rub of the wall, but
that was wild.
Right there is Eve Meyer trying to avoid contact. But of course, we're telling them to be close, and he was certainly close. So I personally put that on Mr. Odi Bakshis for making that error there, and I assume the other 2 judges are going to do the same. I'm getting some nods from them. So we will let Eve Meyer go back and fix his car. He will not need to call a competition timeout to do so. But if Odi Bakshis would like to look at his, he will have to call a competition timeout.
You can blame it on the rain don't care. You got to blame it on something, but regardless.
Are you mini vanillying me right now?
I would never do that.
I think you would.
Yeah, I would definitely vanilla.
Yeah, you think you just did.
Yep.
So let's look at. I love the drone creeping on everybody as they go into their pit area. So we see Yves Meyer rolling back to, I believe it's the drift cave area.
Limping back. Yeah, yeah. Going back to the drift cave,
which is all the way back in the left corner over there.
Yeah,
so he's going to have to get himself back there, and hopefully they have parts to fix that car. If not, they can go bother maybe Kazuya Taguchi or somebody else that has a similar chassis out there.
Taguchi's still in it.
So yeah. Well, you might have spares.
I mean, might have spares.
I mean, I don't know if you want to give them up though.
You got to think that that was Jonathan Castro's former vehicle.
Yeah.
And so are you all in agreement? All three of you? That was Odie's fault. So Odie is at fault. If he wants to get hands on his car, he has to utilize his competition time out. Oh no!
No way!
No way! We are hearing that Kenshiro Gushi is out. Oh man, Lorette, down to you. Unfortunate turn of events. Lorette.
I'm so sorry, Ken. I don't even know what to say. What happened?
Well, I don't know. We were just on our sight lap, and I was just going through gears, got it out of the chicane, put it in second gear, and I had no drive going forward. At first, I thought it was the drive shaft because, if it was just an axle, at least one of them should propel the car, but it didn't, and the car just sat there going through gears. And then my worst fear was the transmission, but then I think we're speculating that it's a clutch issue. Yeah, I guess part of dialing in a new car is just stuff comes up like this, and it's just unfortunate that we were running strong through practice, had a good qualifying session, landing 5th, and was looking forward to a great battle with Stuck, but yeah, just can't catch a break.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Jared, Ryan.
Thank you, Lorette. And man, I don't know. Gucci got a smile on his face. He's keeping such a PMA, man. Positive mental attitude as Daniel Stuckey. This is Byron on layout. And listen to this hot rod and spec, Daniel Stuckey. Yeah, it seems to be drying out considerably.
In some areas.
In some areas. Where it's flat, obviously not. You got puddles. It's accumulating.
So outside zone 1 is the area that we're seeing smoke in consistently now. But as they come down off the bank, you have to have some momentum to keep the car at an angle through that outside zone 1 area because of...
Bossman's watching. Here we go. Going against Mike Power from New York. Power Racing S15. And here we go, Chelsea Denofa initiates. Like you said, there's some smoke, there's some steam. Big angle from Denofa, backs it in, just slamming bumpers. Mike Power takes that tight line, knocks over the cone, goes over the jump. Little whiner swing by Mike Power. Chelsea Denofa gets into that crease. I think there's some room for correction on both ends.
Wow.
Chelsea backs it in, bumps it in, but let's watch it.
Yeah, what I found interesting here was Chelsea's finessing the car coming off the bank down onto the flat, but right here he gets up into the wall, boom.
Nothing finesseful about that.
But right here, you could hear him live. He finessed the car. You could see him slow it down. He came down off the bank, kept the car at angle. He learned a lot. He derived a lot of data, I think, from that first run where he spun out in his sight lap, and he really put it into practice there in competition. But the wall tap is definitely going to hurt him. There was a bobble there when he hit the wall, and then he kind of came off the wall from that point. So they're going to have to tear some things off the back of his car right now, make it safe for competition.
So the scenario here is that I got to ask you, how hard or easy is it to chase somebody when Chelsea goes into the wall like that? It's got to be a little difficult to chase that line as well. So
for sure,
that doesn't make it the easiest. As looks like we're popping out a taillight. That's his right taillight. That's less than ideal, but he will be chasing. So taillight's not critical there for Chelsea Denofa as he's in chase position.
Yeah, looking at Power's positioning in the chase position, he was not very high in outside zone 1. His line was pretty low. His front right tire went down over the white line, but Chelsea angled up just as he tapped the wall. And I think Power actually had an advantage there because he was able to kind of run a bit of a shallower line and catch up to Chelsea right when that happened.
All right, here we go with Mike Power, Chelsea Denofa. Mike Power out front. Ooh, you can see him working up there. Got scared of that wall. And now comes into that first clip. Chelsea Denofa really tight. Now into that second clip.
Oh.
Mike Power, massive angle, but oh, he comes out. That's going to be an incomplete for Power, unfortunately.
Yes, it is.
So the opportunity was there for Mike Power to really rise, but unfortunately, coming around that second inside clip, comes to a halt, straightens out. Unfortunate turn there, or lack thereof, for Mike Power.
So looking at Mike Power's lead, right there, he's got low angle, pours the angle on a little bit later, about mid-bank, sorry, outside zone 1. Chelsea's right there with him on a slightly tighter line, but right with him. He's doing a good job of mimicking Mike's angle and everything until this point where Mike over angles and Chelsea just avoids contact, stays behind him. Mike straightens up, does have an incomplete for his efforts there.
There it is. Chelsea Denofa gets the win. Chelsea Denofa gets the win. Our next pair entering the burnout box, that is Ryan Turk and Ula Jaeger. While they're one up their tires to take their sight.
Our setup for that.
Compromise. That's a word that keeps coming up in our vocabulary, and that's what we need to do is compromise here. Here comes Ryan Turk, that Rain-X Toyota GR roll on Nitto tires. Ula Jaeger, the Japan Auto Mark IV Supra, lower on the bank. And we didn't see his car in driver intros, so now how are they going to handle the more wet portion? A lot of puddles here going through the center section. On that second inside clip, Ula Jaeger definitely, it goes into the side, but Turk keeps on going. So fortunately, that could have been a lot worse, but Ula Jaeger shuts it down. So
wow,
again,
that was surprising.
Grip and slip. Let's take a look at it again. That was sketchy.
Nice initiation for Turk there, and Ula's right behind him, but Ula drops down right away. You can see his front right tire over the white line. Ryan Turk drops down, nice and smooth there. No real perturbation in the angle of the car. That was great. Ula in proximity on the right line. Right there you see Turk filling outside zone number 2 really well. Ula straightens up, taps his front fender. Ryan Turk seems undisturbed by that, keeps drifting.
Unfazed.
Ula shuts it down. So that'll be on Ula. He'll most likely have an incomplete for that. And Ryan Turk now just needs to put together a clean chase lap and not incomplete to get the win in this battle.
Well, this is a great advertisement for Rain-X here. And we are finding out that Ula Jaeger, we talked about this when he was running, or I was talking about it. We saw Ula, he was the last driver to be introduced, but we did not see the car. And I'm wondering what happened there. And he's saying has a transmission issue, and that's what would definitely cause, either, lack of here, and then definitely on that second outside zone where he almost hit Turk.
Yeah, definitely could have been a part of that, trying to shift the transmission at that point. And maybe it didn't shift the way he wanted it to, and then ended up making contact.
And also, admittedly, remember, Odie Bakshis and Yves Meyer, with them leaving the line, even though Odie crashed, he left the line. So he's at a deficit. Yves Meyer has an advantage
He does.
when they go back, because they'll re-rack him with completing that first run, and that was an incomplete for Odie, an advantage for Yves Meyer. So
let me throw something out here to you, Jared. What if Yves Meyer can't fix his car in the 5 minutes?
Then Yves Meyer would advance on, but he would not be able to go further than 16. He's saying, all right, I got you. That drag race start, we saw that from Schwab heading on. And there goes JTB, flicking into that big bank. Justin Pollock. Whoa, look at this. Yo, it's drying out, baby. JTB in that first reverse inside clip. Gene Carnage, Carmi, Hyper, NFT, IO, Dodge Viper, firing off. Look at that, that sliding stuff blowing over that second inside clip. Justin Pollock, now that second outside zone. Most exciting run we've seen so far. Make some noise. I want to say these guys both grabbed a knee and said, all right, bro, you ready? Let's do this. Let's put on a show. It's dry, it's wet, and it's about to get weird.
Man, this outside zone 1 was really exciting to watch. Look at Dean Carney right there. Slightly less angle, but that proximity is high. It got really hectic as they dropped down into the infield here. You can see Dean trying to avoid contact as JTP slowed down. All that speed that he built, he needed to bleed off because going too fast in that infield where it's still slippery would be an issue. But Dean Carney keeping proximity, but definitely making compromises on the line and the angle to do so. The line down in outside zone 2 and angle on outside zone 1, but proximity game was on point there. I'd like to see more angle matching what the lead car's doing, but you know, you got to take what you can get in this situation.
I thought that was really fun to watch. Like you said, you know, it was chaotic, I think is a great word. So maybe refine it, but you know, put the car in the right places. I think chaotic is the best way to describe it. So maybe dial it down, pack a little scotch, here we go. Nope, you can't tell a guy named Carnage to chill out. Dean Carnage, Dodge Viper. Let's see if he can pull it off this bank and down into that clip. Really well done by both drivers. Coming down into that second inside clip. Looks like Dean does swing a little wide, and that's what you're talking about. That speed you're carrying through, it's slick, so it's going to cause you to slide out as Dean does exceed it a little bit and then brings it on back. Woo! I want to see the side-by-side.
There was a lot happening there, Jared.
I'm tired, man. I feel like I just went to the gym.
There's a lot happening.
That was great.
Battles. That battle was fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we just watched a lot of wet driving.
Yeah.
But potentially also because that was awesome.
I think it's a sign, you know, looking into my tarot cards, I'm flipping one over, I see a Dodge Viper and a Mustang. And then I see smoke and wet.
And a horse.
I see a snake and a horse. And now smoke. Here we go.
All
BC Ray, I told you, side by side.
So look at that initiation from both drivers. Nice flick to entry. Dean Carney, definitely more proximity, a little bit less angle, but that proximity is there. In the chase position, you see Justin Pollock with less proximity and a little lower line at the same time. So look at Dean coming into the outside zone 2 area, really sticks it to JTP's door, but on a lower line here. His angle's a little bit better than it was on outside zone 1, but his line definitely is not. But JTP's further back, so he doesn't have the proximity. It's a tough one. I think they both traded positives and negatives, and maybe could be almost matchy-matchy on positives and negatives.
Matchy. Yeah.
You guys in?
All right. Trying to put it in. Let's see what we got. Slide him left for Pollock, right for Carnage. We got it one more time, and one more time. They're going at it again, and it is unanimous. So again, that needle is going way to the side of Eve Meyer. You know, I'm not questioning their team decision, but I'm kind of questioning their team decision.
Well, the only thing that hit the wall for Odie was the headlight and the bumper in the corner, I think. So it seems like none of the actual mechanical parts, like the suspension or anything, were affected by it.
All right, so. If that's what you suspect with your 3D vision, let's see if it comes true. Here we go, Eve Meyer out front. Eve Meyer initiates, oh, big angle there. You see Odie Boxes. He knows he needs to throw down a gangster run. He's trying to apply the pressure, maybe rattle the cage of Eve Meyer, but Eve, oh, he goes up high. Now keep in mind, Eve Meyer's an instructor in Switzerland. They have a driving school in the snow. They know how to handle this. So, unfortunately, for our 4th and points, Odie Boxes going into that wall. We'll take a look at that replay, but Ryan, you're going to know the outcome here. And just with Odie going to the wall, there it is. Man, unfortunate, literal turn of events for Odie Boxes. Eve Meyer gets the win and moves on into, you know, I mean, so much talent here. Adam LZ, you know, driving a a newer car for him. It's a bummer. This is a sight lap here for these two drivers. We saw Ula Yeager and Turk go at it. We saw Turk up front on the first portion of that battle. Ula almost goes in the side of him on that second outside zone. And then Ula Yeager, let's refresh our memory on what happened in that first battle. This is what we saw. So here's that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Remember, Turk got the win in Long Beach. Point standings wise, he is currently third in points.
Yeah, looking at what happened here, Jared, you can see Ula in the chase position as they go into outside zone number 2. Ula's on a pretty decent line here, and then all of a sudden the car goes straight and he drives it inside of Ryan Turk. So seems like they did have an issue that they apparently fixed. Ula does shut down at the finish line, so that is absolutely an incomplete for him. So he's at a very big deficit right now. Ryan Turk just put together a good chase, and he will take this one home.
An uphill battle for the Japan Auto driver, Mark IV Supra, Ula Yeager. He's going to get the clean air. Hopefully he fixes the transmission issues. He's hoping that Ryan Turk makes a mistake in the chase position. I think Ryan Turk is going to dial it back a little bit. He's going to have an active chase, but he doesn't need to be on his door. But also, he just had a sight lap. They had 2, but conditions are changing by the second. Ula Yeager initiates lower on the bank. A lot of smoke here. A lot of steam now coming down into that first inside clip. You need advantage. Oh, that's all she wrote. So that's it. I mean, even if Turk completes it, he doesn't need to. Ula going off course. That's going to be a wrap, unfortunately, for the Japan Auto, the Norwegian driver, Ula Yeager. A good effort. Good to see him back, you know, married to his vehicle. This car, he wasn't at Long Beach, or he was at Long Beach. His car wasn't being transported all over. We saw it in Atlanta. He says, I'm going to be more confident with my car, but the equipment just unfortunately failed him there on his first run, and there it is. So Ryan Turk and that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla Rockstar Energy on Nitto tires advances on into. Here comes Matt Field, Rome Charpentier, Matt Field, Falcon tires, Drift Cave, Boyle exhaust, Corvette. The Ford Star wheels go round, the Falcon tires get lit up. Sticking it to the wall. Now here comes Rome Charpentier. It's been very aggressive lately, but how is the wet going to be handled? Rome Charpentier, no big deal for Rome. Looks like Matt tries to find that crease and he sets it. And you see Rome Charpentier, the garage stick, BMW E36 comes unwound across that finish line. The Federal Tires, NRG, BMWs on field suspension. Well done. Trying out.
Rome looked really calm and collected in the chase position. You can see in the lead, Matt Field really high on outside zone 1. Rome right there with him on a great line, mimicking what he's doing. Watch the transition here. Matt goes a little bit wide on driver's left, but Rome is right there. A nice transition, mimicking everything that Matt's doing. Not super close on proximity, but not really far away either. Kind of in that middle zone there. I'd like to see him closer, but in the conditions compared to what we've seen, matching line and angle like that, I think that's a nice proximity for the amount of mimic that he's doing. You know, if he got closer, he may have had to compromise on a couple of different things, but that was an excellent mimic in terms of line and angle from Rome, and the transition as well. Phenomenal looking in the chase position from him.
Yeah. All right, so as we are seeing Rome Charpentier, he will be leading, and we are seeing Matt Field giving chase. Let's see what we got here. Rome Charpentier initiating. Nice job initiation. But what's he got now? We will see. Now coming down, slamming down in that flat portion of the track. Oh, doctor! Matt Field narrowly escapes contact. Matt Field at good proximity, but unfortunately the Rome spinning out.
So what I was saying earlier, Jared, about Rome being really calm and collected, being on the same line, the same angle, but being, you know, a couple of car lengths behind, Matt Field took that and said, oh, you think that's good? Now, in his chase run out through outside zone 1.
Hold my protein shake.
Hold my smoothie, everyone. He was close, and he was on the same line with the same angle. So he was showing Rome, okay, what you did was good, but what I'm going to do is even better. Now, Rome, unfortunately for him in the lead position, ended up spinning in the infield where it gets really slick. So Matt, you know, all of that advantage that he had wasn't necessarily necessary for him because of that spin, but he was doing it.
And the Hyper NFT Dodge Viper on Nexons. Oh, look at that.
That was a late start.
A little late start for Dean, but we'll see if he can catch up. Justin Pollock initiates, stays high in the bank. That might not have paid off for Dean Carney. Almost a bit of a drag race to that first outside zone. Oh, Pollock with a wide swing. That's too off. That's exactly what we're talking about, Ryan. Coming in too hot, you're going to slip and slide your way off. And that's exactly what Pollock did. So he had a lot of heat and just overcooked it and kept going.
Yeah, you can see the wet spots on the track, Jared, and it's starting to be a dry line where most of the drivers are going, but if you get just a little bit off of that, you're definitely going to accelerate on that wet surface. So you see here, JTP, nice line up on outside zone 1. Dean Carney's within proximity, but on a lower line, a little bit lower angle. Right here, that's where JTP overshoots. 2 tires off right there, almost 3 maybe. We'd have to see that from a different view if we could, but you can see that through outside zone number 2, Dean Carney is right with him in proximity.
I will tell you that the strategy of Dean Carney kind of pacing him, chalking back a little bit, I don't think that ended up paying off for him. That strategy was kind of at a loss there for Carnage, because we know that Justin's going to fully send it, and here comes Carnage out front. The Hyper NFT Nexon tire, Dodge Viper. Dean Carney initiates Justin Pollock. He knows he has some ground to make up. And man, 2 very aggressive drivers coming to that first clip. The composure that Pollock has, aggressive, but then just pedals it back just enough. Really well done lead here by Dean Carney. Ooh, comes off of that crease. But I think he just didn't want to flirt kind of going beyond.
Yep.
You know? But I think we want to run it back, as you said. 2 tires off for sure, potentially 3, which would be an immediate incomplete, and that would just be a real big deciding factor.
Definitely. So let's watch this replay here. I'd like to really look at what Dean Carney did in the lead as he initiated. It looked like he had low angle through that initiation area there. So watch him get to angle, gets the car to angle, and then it seems to drop down. And look how low his angle is right there. And then the car gets up into the wall. I think maybe Justin had more angle than him in the chase position right there. But let's look at the transition here. Nice positioning from JTP in the chase position, and looking at where Dean Carney is. He's not quite all the way wide and outside zone number 2, and JTP is doing an awesome job of mimicking his line while not being, you know, super close, but he's definitely close. He's in the game.
Taking a look at that United States Air Force replay. So there he goes off 1, 2,
Ooh,
that's 3.
3 tires.
That is 3 tires off, because the back 2 and then that front right, that's 3. So
that is right.
Unfortunately, that isn't incomplete for Justin Pollock, and as aggressive as it was, it ended up biting him in the end. So Dean Carney should be getting the win. And let's make it official, slide him right for Dean Carney, and the Hyper NFT.io Dodge Viper gets the win.
And another upset, Jared.
But regardless, we'll see. About to find out. Rockstar Energy Drink, top 32. Travis Reeder out front. Initiates in outside zone 1. Travis Reeder, that Link ECU, BMW. Trent Beecham with a bit more angle on the bank, but lower into that first clip. Things firing off, man. Beecham's car loud and proud into that second outside zone. Reeder makes a quick little adjustment. Ben Beecham taking a shallower line. Reeder dialed right now. Again, Reeder qualifying. You're talking about upsets. Reeder qualified 3rd, Beecham qualified 30th.
So looking at the replay, you can see Beecham a little bit lower there on outside zone 1, but works the car up. Reeder's up on the wall, rubbing it. A bit of a bobble there as he may have rubbed that wall. Reeder runs over that inside clip, a little bit of jump. Car moves around a little bit. Trent Beecham in the chase position is doing a pretty good job on line. A little bit further inside there, but mimicking pretty well near the end. So the first half of outside zone 2, it looked like Beecham was a little bit in, but he worked the car back and matched the line that Reeder was running through the rest of that outside zone 2.
Let's see with Beecham out front and Travis Reeder. I think Reeder has maybe potentially a little bit of advantage, just the way Reeder placed his car. It was aggressive. It had that little X factor that we're looking for. Beecham just, again, I like what Reeder said because Dylan told me that they talked about it. The hardest, easiest course they've driven. So here we go. Beecham initiates. Oh, what is going on?
Something, a wheel
we
flew
lost
off.
Tires. Oh, boy. Oh, riding the lightning. We got 3 wheels, baby. Spark it up. He's going back to the future. We don't need no stinking wheels. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Beecham, make some noise. We're going ham. It's definitely dried out.
What the heck happened there? That brake rotor is pretty hot right now, I'd say. Can you imagine the groove? That
the wheels going for it, going towards the finish line.
Wow. Can you imagine the groove he just dug in the asphalt all the way around that track?
Jesus, take the wheel. Wrong wheel.
What is it with this track and Mustangs?
The wheel says,
last year.
all right, I'm going to head out. We got Beecham.
And
His
it
hand.
crosses the finish
line. Full pull for Beecham's back left. Look at this guy. That Clone X Nexon tires, Ford Mustang with a LS. The wheel says, all right, I'm going to head out. I'm going to finish this thing if you don't.
Well, that was a wild run, Jared.
That was insane. I can't, like, Spotter's like, stay in it, bro. You got this.
No smoke, but lots of spark.
Here we go. What the heck? Watch this. Okay, initiates failure to launch.
Right there, you see the car bobbling back and forth.
And look at the tire initiates, riding that outside wall. Reeder's like, what is happening here? Shut it down. Reeder, great proximity all the meanwhile.
Wow. So right here, let's watch from this angle. We'll be able to see what happened. There, the wheel came off immediately on initiation. And you can see it come off there. That wheel had a lot of mileage on its own. It came off real early, and it made it all the way around the bank and crossed the finish line over there.
Those sparks right next to that gas tank. That's the precarious one.
That's a testament to that gas tank. No leaks there.
Wow. Wow. Well, we got to clean up on aisle 1 and 2 here. Watch this. So, wow. Beecham's outside of his car. That was sensational. Just, and I love Beecham getting out of his car and just putting his hands up in victory like he just won the event. He might have, you know what? Wreckers or checkers. In this case, it's wreckers. But his back left wheel got the checkers, got the checker flag, finished across the finish line. And all right, so we are getting Beecham's Ford Mustang off the track. We'll tow him up onto the flatbed. We'll get him off. 3 more battles left. So wonder what happened. Did the bolt shear off? Take a look at that. Because you could see looks like the rotor is still there, the hub. So it might have just been like lug nuts just sheared off, or the studs.
Yeah, because everything else looks like it's still there. Is that a spacer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a
maybe didn't have enough
failure.
threads. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. It came off immediately, so it was fun to watch.
And you can see it being pulled up, and we'll make it official, which I'm pretty sure you know the outcome. Reeder damn near killed her. Puddles. So
yep.
I think that's absolutely fair. And ideally, though, don't see any more moisture tonight, and we're going to have no more sight laps, and we're going to continue with the battles. Here we go. This is Jonathan Hurst. AZ Rags, BMW, that Comp Cams, GT Radial, Yellow Speed Racing. Here we go. That is full pull Taylor Hull. Whoa, look at that. Jonathan Hurst, Taylor Hull. You got Kentucky versus Georgia, man. Coming down to that first inside clip. Taylor Hull dives in on the inside, tries to take an aggressive line. Both them taking out, oh, a little correction there from Jonathan Hurst. That might hurt him. It allows Taylor Hull to get close. Man, absolute cowboys right now.
That was a very
That was
fast,
ripping.
high-energy run.
I think the track's drying up. What do you think?
I think it might be drying up, Jared.
Huh.
You can see the dry line all the way through the infield. So look at the, wow, this is a very artistic view we have here. Thank you, Kemp. Watching the proximity, this is phenomenal to see how close that he got through outside zone 1. Looking at outside zone 2, you can see right there where, yeah, the chase car made a little bit of a dive in, and then going through outside zone number 2. Pretty great mimic of line there from Hull in the chase position.
Here we go with the second half of it. What is, oh man, look at this. He's like, oh, I know who I'm going against.
He's got
this
that,
pull Hull.
He's got that
I'm gonna
setback.
start. He's just pulling that slingshot back. Click, 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 click. So he can stagger that start. Is that going to pay off? We saw that hurt Dean Carnage.
Cone down.
Cone down. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's a strategic play in the chase position. If you want to position yourself a little further back, we've heard drivers say if they're side by side, you know, front wheel to front wheel, they have a hard time seeing what that lead driver's doing because a lot of them have the wraparound halo seats, helmets, Hans devices, and they can't look to the side that well. So if they get themselves staggered back, they can watch exactly what that lead driver's doing. They can get a full view of their movements. As soon as there's just a twitch from that lead driver, they're on throttle and they're following them.
Right.
It gives them a little bit more room to play. Even if they want to leave a little bit early, it lets them really keep that proximity.
And they can go back as far as they want?
Well,
I mean, within reason.
Within reason. I mean, this is fine. If the chase car wants to go all the way back, it's up to them to time it right.
Weird flex.
I think there's a sweet spot there where it works best.
And clean start, here we go. Second half of this battle, Taylor Hull, the comp cam's vet. He says he's feeling good, liking the car, and no reason why he shouldn't win battle. But Jonathan Hurst, who has been really amazing and tremendous, just thrashing in the Pro Championship. He drops a wheel, doesn't overcook it. So again, drying out. We saw Paul overcook it and overshoot. And now it looks like Taylor Hull, that comp cam's GT Radial vet, comes unbound across the finish line. Orlando, come on, let him hear ya.
This is some of the best driving we've seen from Taylor Hull. This is high quality driving. He's up high on outside zone 1. He's on throttle. He's got great transitions. He's doing a great job fulfilling his lead goals. So you can see there a little bit of a bobble at initiation, but on throttle, up high on outside zone 1, dropping down into the infield. Great job. Well, he ran over inside clip 1. I'm not going to speak too soon there. You can see in the chase position, Hurst dropping a tire, coming into inside clip number 2, and around outside zone number 2, you've got Hull doing a great job filling that zone. But what I need to look at closer is the initiation from Taylor Hull. It looked like he had a pretty big bobble there at initiation. When he grabbed the handbrake, the car wouldn't rotate as he wanted to. Had to get on the left foot brake, on the throttle at the same time, trying to get that car to rotate. So let's keep an eye on Taylor Hull at initiation. Right there, you can see a little lack of angle, and Hurst kind of dropped down because of it, but I don't know if it's because of that or if he was just positioning himself in the wrong place. It's going to be up to myself and the judges to make a determination on that.
Yeah, like I said, it's always, it's difficult, man. You guys are, Ryan, you're doing double duty, and yeah, the smoke is back. Now the fact that the lights are on, and with the lights on, it really does showcase and highlight those puddles. So I think that'll be of assistance too. And you could see the path that they're supposed to take is actually drier than the puddle. So kind of, if you choose the right path, you shall choose dry. And, you know, I mean, you could see that right there on the clips and kind of navigating through. Here we go, slide up left for Hurst, right for Taylor Hull, and full pull. Taylor Hull gets the win. The Pride of Paducah, a great effort there by Jonathan Hurst. Ryan, elaborate on that. Royal purple, BMW. What's going on here? What is, did he, the light extinguished. Is Fetty dead on the line? So Dylan Hughes continues through the course. The sight lap was completed. Did I know Fetty, I don't know what's going on here. Let's find out.
I need to make a comment on these wheel markers, Jared. These are the best looking wheel markers in the game here. The
Italian flag on the Italian car with the Italian driver.
But it also gives us a great idea of what's going on with those wheels. I like the creativity. I like the way that it was implemented. Beautifully done.
Want to find out what's going on? All right, so wondering what's going on with Federico Sharifo. And that's not a do-over. That, I mean, he shouldn't have been caution flagged, but... Okay, so just clarification here. He did get the yellow caution flag. Reason being is it's not safe for him to continue on. Fetty didn't leave the line. The light's extinguished. Dylan leads. He leaves. He finishes the run. Guess what? A major advantage the way of the Royal Purple Falcon Tires BMW. So now Federico Sharifo, as good as those wheel markers look, he needs to get them spinning a little bit better than he did in that chase run. So here we go with that Pennzoil 599 GTV. And here comes Federico Sharifo initiating into the bank. Now Dylan Hughes can't play it too cool. Federico in that single turbo V12 Ferrari now coming slamming down in that first flip. Dylan Hughes, I think, gonna play it a little bit cool, dial it back to about a 9, 9.5, because he does have that advantage on wheel markers, like you said, Ryan, really stand out, but unfortunately standing still is not what you want to do. No, that... All right, so just want to confirm. I mean, Ryan, you're saying that it seemed clean. The lights extinguished. Don't see it in that shot. He actually did lunge. Did I see a slight lunge?
Well, the chase driver's allowed to lunge. What we were looking for is the lead driver. Yeah, he left, but then he thought that Dylan jumped the light. But I've watched it 3 times on my phone now, and as soon as the lights go off, Dylan rolls away. So.
After this, we do have one more battle. That's Alec Robbins versus Darren Kelly. I just got a text from a man, Mad Mike, over in New Zealand. He says, bro, this is Darren Kelly's weather. He knows how to navigate this. He's in that twin supercharged V12 Aston Martin. So we'll see how Darren Kelly manages in that new vehicle. But so here we go. This is, we're going to show the Air Force, United States Air Force instant replay. So here's Dylan Hughes, Federico Sharifo. Camera gets affixed. Getting the cars prepped. Now, just to the right of the exit or the track in and out, you'll see the red lights. Once they extinguish, Dylan Hughes will leave right above the Link logo to the right. That's their starting lights. They'll all illuminate once they extinguish. That's when they can leave the line. So watch the replay here. They're both ready. Thumbs up from our starter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extinguish. Dylan goes. So did Fetty. That's a wrap. And yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a clean start.
Yeah, so score it. And that's going to be Dylan Hughes. Unfortunately, love Fetty. Again, great looking car. Really stoked on the progression of his vehicle from previous years. And now he's back. But the well-dressed man, unfortunately, gets taken out by the dozer, Dylan Hughes. And Lorette Nickel is down with Rad Dan Burkett.
Thank you very much.
Maxon supercharged. And again, that twin supercharged. V12, the heart of the race. Let's see if the pulse is on. Alec Robbins initiates. Nasty initiation by Robbins. Drives that big bank. And Darren Kelly, he might be his conditioned, but he might be out of his element. Oh, doctor!
Whoa.
Oh, that could have been a lot worse. Ooh.
Doesn't look too bad
just
on
that front
Alec
left.
Robbins, but I mean, you never know what happened underneath. If it was a wheel-to-wheel hit, could be some damage there. And since they're coming over to talk to Darren, there may be, but we do tell them in the driver briefing to not move if there's contact so that we can get their car looked at before they do move. So
yeah, make sure they don't. Like,
props to Darren Kelly for stopping there and letting them have a
that
look.
front right is going the wrong direction on the left,
so
baby.
He can't drive even if he wanted to.
Oh, man. And this is, you know, as sensational of having a supercar, unique vehicle build like this, the conundrum is for the fabricators and builders, it's not like having, Part Shop Max. It's not like having Wise Fab.
Yeah.
These are all one-off parts.
Exactly.
With, you look at, Federico Sharifo, we just saw that 599 GTB. Here we are looking at this Aston Martin. So, yeah, let's take a look at this, because this is where you guys are going to deem who's at fault.
Yeah.
Did Alex spin up front? Was Darren too aggressive?
On first view, I would say it's Alec Robbins, as he seems to have lost control on the transition here and over-rotated because he was in that wet area on the right side of the track. Darren Kelly was trying to keep proximity there, expecting him to maybe recover from that over-rotation. You can see he's way inside there on that inside clip, which is a very wet portion of the track because nobody else has driven there yet and it's still wet. So right there you see that wheel-to-wheel contact, and then you see Darren Kelly's front right turning in, which it should not be doing in that situation. So definitely some broken parts there.
Layout, let's listen to this impact right here.
You hear a lot of oohs from the crowd as they made contact.
Yeah,
so this is the first time.
Prettiest.
No, this is the first time that Darren's had any kind of collision or crash with that car. So I'm sure it's a bit of a cringe moment for him. But it looks like it should be a pretty quick and easy fix as long as they have the parts to do so. Cosmetically, doesn't look too bad, but gonna get that car off the track and we'll get back on track.
When we come back, we have a special guest up here in the building, courtesy of Rockstar, and we will find out what goes on with Darren Kelly's vehicle. You have to assume they have suspension corners that are prepared. I mean, a lot of these teams have parts boards that are ready to go, ready to thrash. So again, when we come back, we'll